Imagine that tonight someone knocks on your door.
Do you want to live forever?
Eternal life, the greatest gift or the worst curse? If today you could receive a single gift, one no human being has ever possessed, would you choose to live forever? Most people would say yes. After all, humanity has spent centuries trying to conquer death. We created religions, searched for the Holy Grail, dreamed of the elixir of life, explored ways to stop aging, and even imagined uploading our consciousness into computers. But what if immortality isn't a reward? What if it's a curse? Today, we're setting out on a journey that begins with one of Europe's most haunting legends, the Wandering Jew. Then, we'll meet men who desperately sought immortality, explore how different civilizations understood death, and finally, arrive at an idea that may be one of the deepest reflections ever written about the human condition, hidden within the pages of Tolkien. In the streets of medieval Europe, a disturbing story began to spread. The story of a man who had insulted Christ on his way to the crucifixion. As punishment, he was condemned to wander the earth until the end of time. His name was Ahasuerus, the Wandering Jew. They said he appeared in Rome, in Paris, in Hamburg, in London, always with the same face, always the same age, always outliving everyone around him. Imagine his existence, watching empires collapse, hearing languages disappear forever, burying friends, burying children, burying entire cities, century after century. The legend usually describes him as a man condemned to wander. But perhaps that wasn't the true punishment. The real punishment was remaining, never being able to accompany anyone to the end, never sharing the destiny of those around him. He was condemned to the most extreme form of loneliness. And here we encounter an idea that will return again and again throughout this video. Immortality may turn life into an endless succession of goodbyes. And yet, despite stories like this, humanity never stopped pursuing eternal life. More than 4,000 years ago, a Mesopotamian king named Gilgamesh embarked on a desperate quest to uncover the secret of immortality. In China, emperors sent expeditions in search of the elixir of life. European alchemists sought to create the philosopher's stone. Explorers searched for the fountain of youth. And today, in the 21st century, entrepreneurs and scientists investigate ways to stop aging, replace failing organs, and even transfer the human mind into machines. The question has never changed, only the tools have. Because there is something profoundly human about refusing to disappear. We know we are going to die, and perhaps no other species lives with that awareness so vividly. That is why we build monuments, we write books, we have children, we create lasting works, we try somehow to remain. But perhaps the real question isn't why we want to live forever. The real question is, what would happen if we actually succeeded? Think about this. If you had 1,000 years ahead of you, what would you do tomorrow? Learn the piano? Write a book? Confess your love to someone? Start a new life? Maybe not, because there would always be time later. Scarcity is what gives things value. Gold is precious because it is rare. A moment matters because it never comes back. If time were infinite, many of our decisions would lose their urgency. Immortality might bring with it a new kind of emptiness, the absence of limits. And without limits, perhaps meaning itself begins to fade. What's most remarkable is that many philosophers have suspected exactly this, that the awareness of death does not destroy life's meaning. It may be the very thing that creates it. It's fascinating to see how fiction portrays the immortal. Vampires, Dracula, Highlander, the Elves, the Wandering Jew. They are almost never truly happy. They all share the same wound. They watch the people they love die. They witness the same mistakes repeated. They see the world change until it becomes unrecognizable. They do not grow old. Everything else does. Eventually, immortality begins to resemble less a triumph and more an ever-growing burden of memories that no one else can share. And this brings us to Tolkien, because few authors ever carried this idea so far. In Tolkien's mythology, the elves are granted immortality, men are given death. But here something extraordinary happens. Tolkien does not present immortality as the reward. The elves are bound to the world for as long as it endures. They will witness its glory and its decline. They cannot escape the history of Middle-earth. Men, however, possess something that even some elves come to envy, the gift of Ilúvatar, the ability to leave the world, the possibility of a destiny beyond it. In time, many men forgot this. They came to fear death. And in Númenor, they began to long for the immortality of the elves. The more desperately they tried to escape death, the more they destroyed themselves, until at last their kingdom fell. The tragedy of Númenor is not the story of a people who wanted to live. It is the story of a people incapable of accepting their own gift. And perhaps Tolkien was speaking about us as well. Let's return to the question we asked at the beginning. If someone knocked on your door tonight and offered you the chance to live forever, would you accept? Maybe you would. Maybe you wouldn't. But after exploring the legend of the Wandering Jew, humanity's endless search for immortality, and Tolkien's vision, a troubling possibility begins to emerge. Perhaps what makes life precious isn't that it lasts a long time. Perhaps it's that it comes to an end. Death makes every embrace irreplaceable, every farewell meaningful, every day unique. And perhaps, as Tolkien suggested, mankind spent centuries believing that death was a curse, when the true gift was knowing that our time has an end. Because only that which can be lost can ever become truly precious.